One. Hey everyone, I'm Tape Deck Reviews, otherwise known as James Jump. Welcome to the new series called Artist Rundown, show where I bring on some artists, ask them 10 unique questions, and interview them. So today's episode, I'm joined by a very special guest, Aidan. You'll say hi?
Hi James, you right?
Doing decent. So, with the rundown of the show, it's different from a podcast, it's more of an interview. So, I'm going to jump straight in here. Who is Aidan Kelly?
Well, Aidan Kelly's me.
Good answer.
Yeah, I'm a singer, a songwriter. I used to be in a band called Ludovico.
It was a good band.
It was a great band. There's not much to me except for that.
Oh, nice. Nice one. So, I was expecting a longer answer. But anyway, second one. Is there anything in store for the future of you? Have you got anything in the works you want to release? Is there anything that you're striving to get out?
Yeah, I've got probably 24 songs written. So I'm just trying to get them recorded, and I'll probably just come out with maybe a single or two, and then an album.
Looking forward to hear it, because I've recently heard your stuff. I recently bought your old Ludovico CD.
Yeah,
they were pretty good. So,
thank you very much.
Speaking of them songs, what was the funnest song to record on that album? Because everyone I've asked, they've always got funny stories of recording. Like a band I met once, they said someone fell asleep with the violin, so they just banged the drums and he jumped out of his chair. Like everyone's got a different funny story to say.
Oh, so what's a funny story about that recording?
Yeah, any funny stories?
Well, one thing was, without trying to embarrass him, Dan, the drummer, he would, if he hit one cymbal or drum just slightly wrong, he'd stop and say I need to restart. And we recorded for probably about 2 weeks, and he probably took up about half of that time just playing the drums over and over and over again. That was probably the worst thing. I felt quite bad because the rest of us would just we'd just leave and go to the shop while he was, and then we come back hoping he'd be done.
Perfectionist.
I mean, it was worth it in the end, and I'm definitely a perfectionist too. So I'm not gonna get annoyed about him wanting it to be good. But
I mean, if it made the album better, it made the album better.
Well, I think the drums came out well. So yeah.
Drums a very nice part. So before I ask what's the next step. But now I'm going to ask, what's the next step? Would you join a band ever? Is there any bands, anything you'd want to do again? Because at the moment you're mainly solo artist. I've seen some of your covers, I've seen loads of things. Would you join another band? Is there anything in the works?
Firstly, I would definitely join another band or make another band, because I think solo's alright, but it's nowhere near as good. Definitely not. I'm working with someone at the moment who he's a drummer, and that's the one thing I am not good at. I mean, the one thing I can't do at all, not just I'm not good at it.
I tried.
No. So I've got I practice every week with him, and he's so whether that'll come out as a band thing or if it'll just be me and it'll just be him on drums, I don't know yet. But I mean, hopefully it's a band thing, because I mean, we were in a band together for about... Oh, yeah. It definitely... Yeah. But we were in a band, for 3 years, over 3 years, and it doesn't compete with being on your own now.
I hope that works out. I really hope, because what I've heard from you in a band, there was so much chemistry, and I hope you find that chemistry again.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Now,
thanks.
Moving on, I've seen a few Ludovico gigs. Recorded. The one I was going to go to, I sadly had to cancel due to a driving lesson. It was Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
So sorry about that, Aidan. So
you're forgiven, don't worry.
What was been the favourite thing while performing live? Because everyone's answer is never the same, and I want to see if yours is a completely unique answer.
What's my favourite thing about performing live?
Getting on stage, crowds, gaffs, anything. What drives you
I used to love I really loved the outdoor ones. Yeah. We did quite a few of them. We did one in Liverpool right by the docks. Do you know right by the museum in Liverpool?
Yeah, I'm on to.
We did one there, and I just loved it because we played a couple of Beatles songs. Because I was like, we got to do loads of them because it's
Yeah,
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
And like there was just the crowd, like there was no ticket sales. The crowds just came, and it just like I just loved having like there was at least hundreds of people there, at least 200, and I just loved having people like just lost in it. Do you know,
That
they were
feeling.
just going about the day. Yeah, going about the day, going shopping, going to get something to eat, whatever they're doing, and just something catches their ear and they're completely mesmerised by it. That's like, I don't think there's a better feeling.
So I think that answers the question there. Like, so
Good.
a very good gig experience there. So back to the Q&A. So I'll jump back in it again. What's been the most personal song? What's been written? Because I know with different bands, some they're just meaningless. Half of them it just means jack shit. But I know sometimes you get that one song where it's like, this means something to me. People may not see it, but to me, this is my magnum opus, and I'm happy I've made this. What's been the most personal song?
That is a thinker. Well, it's probably a tie between two. The first one is Crossed Out Lines, which was a single as well as on the album. Yeah, mainly because it was the first song I ever wrote.
Oh, so
that really does have a meaning to me. However, the other one would have to be also on the album, the song called Debo. And I remember I was at Adam's house, you know, the other singer. I was going to his house one day, and I got a phone call saying that my nan had died.
Oh.
So, and I went to his, and we'd kind of already started the day before writing an instrumental to a song, and then the words just came out for that one as soon as I got to his, and we finished it, and we did a little demo for it. Which is actually why it's called Debo. It's actually demo with a typo, and it just stuck. So that's really probably the most personal one.
It's stuck. That's actually a really, really nice story to hear. That's actually really nice. So artists, and there's so many lovely artists out here in Merseyside. I could name 100. But this doesn't have to be Merseyside based. Which artists would you want to collab with? Try and name three any artists, because dead or alive, because that's always nice to hear.
Just three of my favourite artists.
Three favourite artists, if you could. This is a dream scenario, like they could be so famous or dead. Like,
yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. That's a hard one. I mean, I'd say firstly because he probably is my music icon, and I probably would have like a heart attack if I met him. Paul McCartney. Yeah, I feel like one of the Beatles were coming with you. I could tell. Yeah, I was tempted to just say the Beatles, but I think
yeah.
No one compares to him, I don't think. And I was the bass player of Ludovico, so I kind of have that connection with him as well. And the second one will probably be, and I think again another one who'd be really interesting to actually meet as well, Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan, yeah.
I think that'd be crazy to meet him.
That man.
And the third one is a hard one.
It could be local artists.
Trying to think.
It could be like a invitation. This with a local artist, I'll tag him in and be like, "Look, Aidan Kelly wants to write a song with you." Do
you know the band Ambido Blue?
Ambido Blue, George.
George came to our college. Yeah, I've worked with him in his filming thing. I don't know if you've seen
George Higgins Productions.
Yeah, that was him.
That's a very good.
Yeah, that was him with him.
By the way, very good.
It's brilliant.
It's fucking mad.
Yeah, he's one of the best people in music I've ever worked with. So if anyone is interested in like music videos or anything, get on him for that because he's brilliant. But
I've been looking at stuff.
Yeah, I would love to write a song with them. I think I've briefly kind of done it with him. I showed him a song and he kind of helped me with like he kind of wrote the bass line for it.
They have a good connection, that band, I've noticed, because they recently released
They do.
their demo hits, because they released a bunch of demos.
Yeah,
It was so good. I know the drummer.
I know, when they were all done in
QnA.
isolation.
Yeah, I know, which is mad.
It's crazy.
It's a nice project to do over isolation, because we've all been gone into different things during it all, so it's been a nice little thing for them.
Yeah, I can certainly relate with it. I mean, isolation was my biggest moment of writing and performing. Like, I wrote more songs in that like first month probably than all the songs I'd written before it.
What called the
So-
album Lockdown Tunes? So
Yeah, something like
your
that.
lockdown demos. So
Yeah.
I was gonna ask a new question, but I've got a picture of your Claus IV up. Is that Greasby Road? What you took the picture on? Because I know it's similar. I think it's somewhere near Greasby, or am I just horrible?
No, that the front cover is actually in Bebington,
Oh, Bebington. Oh, why did I think that
but
was Greasby?
the back picture is by my house, which isn't too far from Greasby.
So I knew, because every like housing estate in the world, like Greasby and Bebington, they look very similar. So I'm like, where?
They're all suburban, aren't
Where
they?
is that? No, yeah. But moving on from the front covers. So I'll say mine first. When asking the question, best concert you've been to, it's a bit bland. But like, what's been the best, like, most memorable? Mine was with a singer called Beans on Toast, just because how electric it was. Like, he told stories in between songs. He made me sing a song with him. Like, he said, "Go on, get up and sing it with me."
Wow.
He made me sing. Like, it was fucking brilliant. Like, the amount of effort that man put into the concert. But what's been your favourite concert or gig? It could even be Ludovico if you want to toot your own horn.
Yeah, well, I'll have to admit, actually, I don't go to many concerts because I have been to quite a few, like, but not as much as a lot of people I know. Just because I don't know, I do sometimes look at them and I'm like, yeah, but I kind of wish I was on the stage.
Envy.
But one concert I really, really loved was I went to see Vampire Weekend in I saw them in Manchester, and it was quite funny because the bassist, a fight broke out.
Oh no!
Because it's Manchester.
Oh.
Yeah, and the bassist on stage kind of looked at me and like asked me if everything was all right and stuff, and we just like, it was quite funny. And but except for that little blip, the whole energy was like, everyone was just, again, that thing of being mesmerised with the band on stage. Like, they just completely controlled the room, and I think the energy just, I mean, and I felt it as well. It was brilliant.
I don't get concert fights. Like, I went to see Jake Bugg recently, and someone like tried to punch an old man and like rob his cap and everything. And it's like, why would you do that? And the both got escorted out, and the old guy was about to absolutely punch this kid, and some woman got a drink fell on her, and someone got smoke bombed. I was in the front, by the way, and it was a great concert. Because I talked to the woman afterwards to ask if she was all right. But
well, at least the old man was going to protect. You know, he's going to fight back. Good on him.
Yeah, he got on it. Now from the concerts, This is gonna sound weird, but what advice would you give to either a younger Aidan Kelly or any young musicians in the terms of the music industry? Because we all make stupid mistakes in music industry or anything. What would you give younger self?
I'd say you need to very quickly get out of your mind any sort of notion of like making money or, you know, those kind of things, those like material things. Not because it's like, oh, it'll never happen, but because as soon as you realise it's for, you're there to, you know, for your own enjoyment and that of your band, and also just to get, and when you realise that it's more enriching to get the crowd to dance along and sing along than it is to get money off them. You very quickly realise that's what it's all about, and I think as soon as you do, everything gets better. The performing becomes less like a chore, the writing becomes less like that, and you want to keep going because it's not about like any sort of material gain. It's just because, you know, there's actual people who are looking forward to to hearing it.
But if you keep going, then essentially that you could earn some material gain. Like you could actually go big.
Yeah,
Because
you could. Yeah.
I know loads of artists who have started off so small and they just rose up. It's like with my page, Tape Deck Reviews. I'm not getting paid to write and do anything. 'Cause it's just a hobby. Like I find it fun to do.
Yeah.
So the material gain.
And it's like, yeah, and it's like people will be drawn to it because I think people get a sense that it's real when it actually is. People get a sense of it and then will come to your music, like on like online streams for us. I mean, I think we've just hit we've just hit 150,000 streams on Spotify.
Jesus Christ, decent man, decent.
Yeah, I mean, grateful to anyone who's ever listened to any of the songs. Thank you for that. And I think when people see it's real, they will contribute to it because they know it's worth contributing to. If you go out with that aim, you'll make less gains than if you went out without that motive.
It's not a work-life balance. It's about a work integrated with your life balance. Like you make your work something fun to do, and that's the beauty of music and the music industry. Because if you ever make it, if you ever do something big, you're gonna be rewarded by doing something you love, and that's the lucky thing about being like a creative type.
Yeah, any of the arts, yeah.
But so for the last question, I've saved the best worst till last. So Ludovico, you have a good film, you have a good discography, and you've got some good songs. I don't have a say in this because I can't really find one. What do you reckon the worst Ludovico song is? Like not like worst, like oh my god, it's a shit the moment I put it on. This is absolutely wank. Like what's been like worst? Like oh my god, I regret writing that. That should never have left the demo. That should never have left the lyric phase. Because is there one? Because some could say no. My lyrics are perfect. Everything's perfect. But what's been like the worst one you've ever actually done?
I'd say not so much the actual song, but more the way it was executed, the way it was recorded, the way it was sung. The third song on the album, Cancelled. That was actually like one of my favourites at a point. I mean, when we do it live in band practice, it was always one of my favourites to do, and I think it was one of Adam's favourites as well. I think because he liked it, but I just think when we recorded it, it just was not what I had imagined in my head. And
did you ever revamp it?
So yeah, I guess I would. It would be a bit. A part of me thinks maybe just leave that in the past now. Yeah. Like, there's no point. But it is quite like kind of a bitter feeling of like, a song that you did actually like, and now it's like I don't really like. I just skip it. I'm listening if it comes on because I'm like only because it's like. It reminds me that this could have been quite a good strong track and like a good number to do, and I was just like not a massive fan of it.
Maybe in the future could have a revisit, but as you said before, it's best to move on, try some new things out, try out new genres, get out there. So that was the 10 questions, Aidan. It's been great having you. Before we wrap up, is there anything? I'm going to put all your social medias and a link to the album on Spotify in the bio anyway, but is there anything you want to say or anything?
Well, yeah, there'll be music coming out as soon as I possibly can. The songs are written, all the parts are written, so it's just a matter of getting it out there. So if you liked anything from the band, then I hope I can offer something that you like solo.
So I've been James Jump, this has been Aidan Kelly. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode.